Hi, it's Lisa Cuneo and welcome to my scrapbook table. So today I am making a layout for Mixed Media Mayhem, which happens on Fridays. There is a Facebook group for Mixed Media Mayhem, and if there's a playlist, I will link it in the description box below, but I don't know for sure about that. This week we are lifting and using this idea for inspiration from Helen Ding. She's got watercoloring done in the center, these stripes along the side. She has circles. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to use circles or not. I might. And then a journaling spot here. So let me show you what I'm going to work with today. I have some photos that I took on the ship Harmony of the Seas. And there's a section of it called Central Park, which I took a picture of the sign, and that's going to serve as part of my title. And there were orchids growing in Central Park, so I took some photos of the orchids. This one's a little blurry, but I think I need it, so I'm going to live with it. This one's just a photo looking out through Central Park, and, oops, that's upside down. And this one, just a different view. So that's what I'm working with for photos. My background is just white cardstock. It's basil marshmallow. I am using the 49 and Market Vintage Artistry Sunburst collection. I have their ephemera bits, which I've kind of sorted into this tray. This is flowers and tropical things. These are all words, some labels. And this one's bows, and then these are some specific things that I pulled out that I think I might use. I pulled 4 colors of Distress Oxide, or 3 of Oxide, 1 of regular Distress. I don't think I'm going to end up using the green, but I will see. And for the stripes that are along the side here, I found this piece of paper. I bought it at Joann's on clearance a while ago. It is Jen Hadfield's Flower Child, which I do like the flowers on the back, but I bought lots of these because I loved this stripe. And so I am going to use this stripe along the sides. That's going to be my right and left hand border to match the sketch. Here, I'm not going to pull them all out, but these are the laser cuts. And a lot of it is tropical, but the flowers will work. And I mean, I was on a ship in the tropics, so that might work too. I don't know. We'll see. That's what I'm going to use for embellishment. Oh, this is, I just had this out to use to find what colors of ink I thought would work. So let me get started, and I will be back with my usual voiceover. So this will be the mixed media part of the layout. I am using worn lipstick, broken china, and I think that's mustard seed. Squeezed lemonade was too bright, which you'll see I started with that and then I just flipped the page over and worked on the other side because it was just going to be too bright for what I was thinking. And I didn't really have a plan for this mixed media. I just started, I think this technique, if it can be called that, is called ink smushing. Very technical term. I just put some ink on my glass mat, sprayed it with water, and dipped this piece of acetate, like a little piece of packaging really, lifted it up and put the ink down, and sometimes I just blotted it on there, but sometimes I squished it around, made it move quite a bit, and it was just really fun. I love this part of mixed media. It's just really fun, and these colors are some of my favorites. It's hard for me to go wrong with this color combination because I really like it. Sometimes instead of the blue, I add in an orange, but this one, the blue seemed to fit better. So now I'm going to glue down the multicolored stripe, and I also lined that with a tiny bit of white cardstock that just barely peeks through. And this white piece was a little too wide, so I'm just trimming it down. Both of the edges of the stripe, as well as the white that's behind it, are distressed with my distressing tool from MK's shop. There we go. And if you haven't been on MK's Some Assemblage Required website lately, she has come out with her own line of paper. I bought it just about an hour ago, and I bought the downloadable one, so I will plan to print that, and I might even use it sometime today or tomorrow. So I decided I do want to use the circles that are in the inspiration piece. This is from Jen Hadfield's, I think. I'm not going to say. I could be wrong. I know I got it at Joann's. I have no idea where this piece of paper came from, but the green is just about the green that I want for this layout. It's a little too bold, so you'll see in a moment how I fixed that. I grabbed my unicorn white ink from Hero Arts, and I just smushed it down on the circle. Also, I did edge distress the circles as well. And then I just grabbed a rag that I keep handy here for cleaning up messes and buffed that out a little bit so it's a little smoother. And there we go. It's perfect color for what I was looking for. And unfortunately, the blue circle mostly gets covered up. You can see it in two tiny little places. I wish I had spread it out a little more. I wish I'd been thinking a little better and had it showing a little more. But there is, I used glue for some of this, not just adhesive. So like this stuff isn't coming up. I'm not going to try to do that. I just decided I will leave it as is. So now I'm thinking about where these photos are going to go. And I realize it's going to be too crowded if I put all 6 on as it is. I am trying lately to often use smaller photos and tell my story with the smaller photos for the simple reason that I have a lot of scrapbook albums, and if I keep scrapping at the rate I'm going, I'm going to outgrow where I even have to keep my albums. And so I thought, if I just sometimes scrap with smaller photos and do a single page instead of a double, which this easily could have been a double page, that might combat that problem a little bit. I won't do it all the time, but sometimes I think I can tell the story just as well with the small photos, especially scenery, stuff like this. So I have some flowers from the 49 and Market collection that I'm using, and some tickets. I used the blue and the green tickets. I edge distressed the parts that were going to stick out, and I had cut the tickets in half, thinking I would just use half in one spot, but I ended up cutting those down actually, and I put the larger halves here on the right, and that serves as a cluster base. And then I just add the 2 tiny little ticket pieces to the left. I did put some tags up there at the top, but they don't end up staying on the layout. There they go. And I'm just distressing these a little bit. So with all the edge distressing and under the flowers, the tips of some of them, I put some Stampin' Dimensionals. And also at the very end, which you can see it in the still shots, but I don't show up making it on camera, I have a wax seal that I had made that was sitting here on my desk. So now I'm doing some journaling. It just says, Central Park was our first stop on Harmony of the Seas. We had a great lunch at the cafe, and the flowers and greenery gave the place a very unique feel on the ship. So this was the first time we had been on this size ship, and in the middle, they have this section called Central Park.
It's several decks high, and it feels like an outdoor park because it is open at the top. And we spent some time there a few different times during our cruise. This is the first page that I have created about the cruise. I did use 2 cruise pictures on another page, but it wasn't about the cruise. It was about scrapbooking in general. So this starts my cruise album. This won't be the first page in there. A lot of the pages were designed by Janet Fritz and MK Gunn. And so I don't know how many of those I will show because a lot of them I'm just putting pictures on. We created them while we were on the ship, so I'm going to have to see what I think will work for that. So now I'm finishing up. I cut the top off this pineapple to use for leaves. I don't see me scrapbooking a pineapple, though it works with tropical stuff, I guess. But I am going to just use the top of this one to tuck some green leaves behind. I have a little bit of leafy stuff in all 3 of my embellishment clusters. Actually, I kind of ended up with 4, though I don't know that you can call one in a cluster, really. It just has a tiny little flower, a word, and that it kind of looks like string that's tied in a knot I have there near the journaling. Since there is black in the title, the word paradise, I wanted some black brought toward the bottom of the layout, so I tuck in this word that says sunshine, and I also add a tab that just has the date, February 2025. So we're coming up to the end here. I'm so glad you joined me today. I love to hear from my viewers, so if you have a comment, I would love to see it in the comment section below. I do make an effort to answer every single comment. I'm sure over the year and a half I've missed some, but I really try hard to reply to everybody. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate that. I hope you get to enjoy some time creating or scrapbooking soon. Here are the still shots, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks. Goodbye.